I'm gonna make an assumption here for a second. So in Florida last year, I got off the bike. I was going for what would have been a really great time, at least I'd hoped for. I was trying to break 10 hours that day. I had got off the bike with enough time to be able to pull it off. I got about 6 miles into the run course, and I started start shaking your head if this makes sense. I started losing feeling in my fingers. And I started like your arms falling asleep, and it went up my arms into both my elbows and both my hands.
And what did you drink?
So at that time,
What were you?
I was drinking on the bike. I was drinking really heavily.
It never occurred to you that could have been a heart attack?
Okay, Simon raises a good question, but the point is, unless I know what's happening biomechanically and with what I'm consuming, and Ryan's asking the right questions, like what should I have been drinking at the time, I could have put myself into a significantly dangerous situation. It ended up, my face started getting numb, my lips started getting numb. I was fine. I was talking to my coworkers on the course. I was like, hey guys, do I look all right? And they're like, yeah, you're talking to us. That's our first litmus test. But maybe explain what my number shared, if you don't mind, Ryan.
Well, so he's kind of an outlier, and that he's a very extreme amount of sodium loss. So he's at almost 1,800 milligrams of sodium per liter of sweat loss. So average person, let's say they lose a liter of sweat. Most maybe don't always lose a liter, but let's just say, for example, he's doing a liter of sweat. If he's got about 4,000 milligrams of stored electrolytes, or mainly sodium, in his blood, well, it's only going to take about 2.5 hours before he starts to become a problem to himself, right? So he's probably consuming some electrolytes during that time, but it's not enough to negate the losses that he's under. So not everybody has this kind of a number. We've got a couple in store that are outliers at that extreme. Most people are more as we do more of these tests, actually we're seeing higher numbers, but anywhere from about 600, right in around there is probably the average